Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And just a couple of hours ago, Flare said that they are going to be integrating Doge prior to the network launch. This will allow Dogecoin to be used on Flare trustlessly with scalability EVM-based smart contracts. Now, the response on Twitter was as wide as the Grand Canyon. Everything from, you got to be kidding me, to, wow, that's fantastic. So where am I on this announcement? Do you remember all the money? Flare Networks is about unlocking all the value. XRP holders are so dang lucky to be gifted FLR. FLR is Spark. And the more integration with other blockchain value, the more valuable the network and its native token Spark will be. Heck yeah. Come on, Dogecoin. I'm going to circle back to this, but I want to put some perspective into it. And it's just really beautiful timing because we've had a very a very amazing 24 hours, which really highlights the value of decentralized finance. Remember, if you are watching this video, you are right here where this dotted line is. It's where the institutional adoption has just begun. So we are going out of just only 2.5% of the early innovators, and we are now moving towards the transformation of early adopters. And as an early adopter, you are going to have a rare, once-in-a-lifetime chance to experience, witness, and see the world make a very incredible change. And I think this change is going to be a huge advancement for people like you and me. What I'm talking about is the power of decentralization. And these past 24 hours with the reaction from the centralized finance highlights how important the decentralized world is. The old system is not any longer going to be able to keep the masses kept down from being on a level playing field as they have previously done for decades upon decades. This position against the small retail investor is no longer going to be possible. Flare Networks is just going to play a part, a very important role in this change. So I want to explain. Everybody who was watching the traditional market, the losses across the globe were pretty significant. There was a lot of deep red. And in the US, the Dow, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, all of them were off a little over 2%. And on top of the volatility, Schwab, Vanguard, Fidelity, and others all suffered service disruptions because of a surge of trading. And that surge in trading was with a little-known video game retailer, GameStop. It was leaked that a hedge fund, Melvin Capital Management, was going to short the stock. And with that information, an army of retail investors on Reddit used options to push up that price, causing the firm to have to exit their position, lashing out on that hedge fund, almost putting them out of business. So listen to the problem with the outages.
The surge in trading volume today creating some challenges for some of the retail brokerages. Let's get to our Kate Rooney on that. Hey, Kate.
Hey, Carl. A lot of these retail brokerage firms are seeing major outages. We have Vanguard this morning, TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim, and Robinhood, as well as Schwab. TD Ameritrade saying that they are seeing unprecedented trading volume that is causing some outages on the TD Ameritrade mobile app specifically. They say to consider using websites or their other platforms that don't include mobile. Vanguard also saying that they're seeing unprecedented volume and people are having difficulty accessing their accounts online. Same thing goes for Schwab. As far as Robinhood, we've seen more outages actually on their crypto offering and their systems appear to be back online. But again, All of this due to some of the unprecedented trading volume. And you mentioned names like GameStop, a lot of retail traders getting in on the action today.
So, you need to understand that in a decentralized fashion that you'll be soon trading on, you're not going to be at the mercy of those centralized services that control your ability to trade. This army of retail investors, they caused a huge loss, like $3 billion, and they had to seek capital to stay solvent. It's just fascinating. I want you to now listen to this portion just a little bit here.
What has turned into the soap opera and saga of the markets right now, and that is the story of GameStop. The news to bring you right now is that Melvin Capital Management, this is the hedge fund that had shorted this company, that had effectively been attacked by an army of investors trying to push up and press up the stock rather of GameStop along the way. Melvin Capital is now out of the stock. They got out of the stock, from what I understand, yesterday afternoon. I just got off the telephone with Gabriel Plotkin, who runs that firm. They've taken a rather huge loss. I do not have the full number on what that loss looked like. As was reported yesterday, both Citadel and Point72 have infused something on the order of close to $3 billion into Melvin Capital to try to shore up its finances. And Gabe Plotkin telling me just moments ago that the speculation that the firm would file for bankruptcy is false. There's some reporting taking place on Reddit, where so much of this discussion began and really created the momentum for, as I said, an army of investors using options to try to press up that price. To some degree, they might be able to argue now that they succeeded. If this was really about vanquishing, if you will, Wall Street, or vanquishing a hedge fund manager, in this case, they did take a loss. They may have not put them out of business, but boy, did they come close. We've been following this story, which has been such a wild one. GameStop shares right now, I mean, I can't, I don't even know what to say. It's up 131%, $342. On any kind of fundamental basis, if the stock were worth more than $20 or $30, I think it would be, something to behold.
So these traditional platform people just don't even know what to think. But somebody really does know what to think, and this is Chamath Paltapatia. I know I'm not saying that right. I want you to listen because he is really chiming in, and he has a lot to say on this subject, and it's fascinating.
I think that what you're seeing is essentially a pushback against the establishment in a really important way. You have a lot of people, and I would encourage anybody who is dismissive of this thing to go into Wall Street Bets and actually just read the forums. And I think that you're going to see three kinds of posts. The first kind of content are a lot of people doing some incredible fundamental diligence on companies, trying to think about long-term value. And in my opinion, many of them are doing as good and frankly a better job than a lot of hedge fund analysts that I work with. That's number one. The second are a lot of people who believe that, coming out of 2008, what happened was Wall Street took an enormous amount of risk and they left retail as the bag holder. And a lot of these kids were in grade school and high school when that happened. They lost their homes, their parents lost their jobs. And they've always wondered, why did those folks get bailed out for taking enormous amounts of risk and nobody helped and showed up to help my family? And then the third thing is a realization that instead of having idea dinners or, quiet whispered conversations amongst hedge funds in the Hamptons, these kids have the courage to do it transparently in a forum. And I'm not saying all of it is perfect by any means, but I think it takes an enormous amount of faith in the system to be that transparent, to talk about things, and then for each individual to make their own mind up and to do things, whether it's to buy and to sell.
So, point is here, the NASDAQ president, Adina Friedman, she revealed on CNBC that they were monitoring the social media chatter and they were going to halt stock trading if they saw that the chatter was matching unusual activity in stocks. This is exactly why we need a decentralized platform. I just can't even believe she said what she did. And I will show you here that, yes, Boom is sharing the screen. Okay, I'm going to hide this. Chamath, he is someone who is a billionaire. He's also an early Facebook executive. He does own BTC, and he's going to probably run for California governor. He has his eyes on running. And I want you to listen now to one more portion of what he was saying.
The only thing I'm concerned about is that there are inevitably going to be people who get hurt. I'm not talking about hedge fund managers. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people who follow people into the trade, who think that this stock is going to continue to go up because that's what they've been conditioned to think in the pandemic.
What should we do?
Because all stocks go up, apparently.
What should we do? Not allow folks. Here's what will happen if you follow your logic, then you'll say, you know what? Retail doesn't know what they're doing. I think you're wrong. Then the thing will be, retail shouldn't be allowed to participate in the stock market. I think you're wrong. And then you know what will happen, Scott? The inequality gap will grow and grow and grow. Because then what are they supposed to do then? Buy an ETF, a passive fund? They can't buy into hedge funds because the rules don't allow them to. So now, systematically, what you've done is you entrench poverty.
No, I mean, that's
solution?
taking it too far. This is just accentuating
So
those thoughts that Wall Street's a casino and nothing more. The only thing I'm concerned about is that there are inevitably.
So it's always, we need to protect the retail investor. Oh, come on, guys. The retail investor is in crypto. We know the risk. We know the volatility. You don't need to protect us. Obviously, the SEC is doing its job, right? Yeah. Tell the retail investor, who, especially those that own XRP, that they are being protected. So until Ethereum 2.0 proves itself, should we wait? Well, I'm going to touch on that also. But I want to just play one more little bit of video, and this is the co-founder of Reddit, and he too has a very insightful comment.
I do have to say, when I watch what happens with this, I worry about the retail investors.
Everybody's worried about the retail investor.
Following other people's bidding. Chamath got into this stock, but he got out of it before he came on yesterday to talk about how he had gotten out of it. I don't know who he thought he was selling those shares to, but I doubt it's the short sellers.
Yeah, look, I think what's really remarkable here, and I've been on here over the years talking about things like Bitcoin, which I'm obviously still continue to be pretty long on. I think we're seeing cryptocurrency is one example of this bigger story where I think people are looking for more opportunities to have more influence over every part of their life, including, in many cases, very importantly, their money, their investing, and the access to knowledge, the access to information, the access to world-class technology to process all those things is now getting democratized to anyone. I mean, the user who kicked this off, I had to write this down. He has a YouTube account called Roaring Kitty, who first did the analysis on GameStop and and published it. And it seems absurd until you actually watch this video and see that he's been really actually thoughtful about it. And yes, he does have a ridiculous moniker, but he's sort of the original kind of hero in this story that it has been all built around. And I think the thing that has been really eye-opening for me is to see for how many people it's personal. Like I said, there are stories from the recession, from 2008 and the aftermath, that were being told, during Occupy Wall Street in Zuccotti Park, but that was a time when the internet was still in its infancy, and in many ways now we're seeing a new reality, and I do think, this is without precedent, and obviously everyone should be making, they should be very thoughtful about where they're putting their money and their investments, but I do think this is a drastic shift, and I don't know where this goes from here other than new systems emerge to start to adapt to this new reality. There's a part of me that sees this community on Wall Street bets and think they would as a investing block, they could outperform a hedge fund if they raised, capital of their own. If there is the menu is open with this combination of technology and ubiquity of connected people, sharing insights and opinions, and I hear you, and I think it's an important thing. There's a very important role we played for protecting a little guy. It's just so many of these little guys are saying very clearly that they felt rather unprotected for so long, and this is a way to vote with dollars.
I loved what he said there. And so, again, should we wait for Ethereum 2.0 to prove itself out and claim, that the full impact of the decentralized finance can wait? I don't think so. We have really the ability to do this now. And this is an article that Cointelegraph put out about 18 hours ago. They published it. And the game changer is really already here. And one of those platforms is the Flare network. And this article, who was written by Sarah Austin, she is really smart as a whip. She's the head of content at Kava Labs. Kava Labs is backed by Ripple, and it's backed by Binance. It's backed by Kraken, just to name a few. They are a DeFi platform where you can earn, borrow, and mint the USDX stablecoin. And they've distributed nearly 8 million to date. They reside on the Cosmos, and they have the native token Atom. I think you might have seen that BitTrue just added it to their platform. And if you were to follow them on either YouTube or Twitter, you'll see that just a couple of days ago, they too now are talking about how you can mint the USDX with XRP, and $42,240 have been distributed to XRP holders for last week's USDX minting, and a total of 7,524,779 rewards since the launch. So every week, Kava is compensating XRP holders with 19,200 Kava and mint USDX and claim your share for next week's reward. I am bringing this up because this is an example, and I want everyone to really just get leveled up with their knowledge of DeFi. This is an example of one of those DeFi platforms that have already launched, and it is bringing value in so many different ways. And this is what you're going to see with the Flare network too. And bringing smart contracts to decentralized finance and the first trustless bridge to Doge, yeah, it's good. The longest standing and most battle-proven meme coin, yes, that was created as a joke, but to date, it would indeed be a perfect base currency for the explosive non-fungible tokens, NFTs, for gaming, for digital art. Those are just some ecosystems at hand. And don't forget the blog that Vanessa wrote when she found the Flare network to be something that the Spring should invest in. They were seeking out opportunities focused on smart contracts that overlap in the industry with interest in gaming and decentralized finance. So please, I want to remind you to keep checking the blog on flare.xyz. This is the menu up here on top. And I want you to keep checking this blog because there is going to be some amazing information continually coming, and it's going to update you and keep you abreast of all the changes. All right, everybody, I am going to be on the chain. In the United States, it'll be on Sunday evening. It'll be my Monday morning. They are really working on something very unique. They're going to create a virtual meetup. I'm sure I'm going to talk a little bit more about it before it actually happens, but they have incorporated some very interesting technology that allows for breakout rooms, which I think will be really fun. And I'm looking forward to seeing people there. Do get in touch with On the Chain. That's Jeff and Chip, and you can find them on Twitter. I'll be sure to put their information in the description below so that you can do that. Yeah, I will see everyone who participates at the virtual meetup. And yeah, Tokyo had snow today. Yeah, not this much snow. This isn't from today, but it always is a rare occurrence. It does happen, so it's not like it's crazy rare, but it only usually comes maybe once or twice a year, and very rarely does it stick overnight. And it turned into rain later on this afternoon, but the city is so beautiful when it does get a blanket of snow. And then a new Kit Kat came out on January 18th. This is the Ume Plum flavor, and this is the flower that is flowering this time of year. In fact, all my little flower shops in the neighborhood have baby bonsai that you can buy, and they're just starting to come out now. It's amazing how inexpensive these bonsai are. I can find some that are just about this high for $5. I'm not going to buy one though, because all of the ones I've purchased in the past have not survived, and so I just gave up on that. However, I wanted to tell you that there is someone that I sent some Kit Kats to that are exclusive and limited to only Japan. This one looks really yummy. The green looks really yummy. Yeah. So so in that trade, what I got back are Cheez-Its. This is my snack from the US that I always loved, and I can't find them here. So I sent out some Kit Kats and I got Cheez-Its back. But the crazy thing is that in the 2 boxes that I received, I calculated based on the cost of the box and the shipping that each one of these crackers has a cost of about 20 cents. So expensive. Yeah, the 2 boxes of Cheez-Its and shipping were close to $80. It's crazy. So every one that I eat is being savored because it's very expensive. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.